Good morning. Today we will discuss about another type of pavement material, that is bitumen. Now, bitumen is added as a binder material for the flexible pavement, and basically bitumen is used for the surfacing course. Okay, but in some cases bitumen may be used as a base courses also. Okay, like different type of base courses, for example, bituminous macadam or like that. So in such type of base courses also bitumen may be used, but maximum that bitumen is used for the surfacing courses and wiring courses. Now another thing, before starting this, uh, if you go for the purchasing of bitumen, so in the market basically two grades of bitumen are found. Okay, two grades of bitumen are found. That is very important to listen carefully. So these two grades of bitumens, first grade is paving grade, PAVING, paving grade, and another one is industrial grade. One is paving grade and another one is industrial grade. Okay, so paving grade. 1 minute. Today, do you have any other classes from 9:30? Hello, anybody is there? Okay, okay. So let me continue the class. So what I was telling, paving grade and industrial grade. So whenever you are going to purchase the bitumen from the market, so then you will have to mention what type or what grade of bitumen you want to have. So two types of grades, one is paving and another one is industrial grade. So paving grade bitumen is generally used for the pavement construction. Okay, and industrial grade bitumen is used for the other purposes. Other purposes means for the building also, that bitumen is used for the waterproofing work. Okay, for the waterproofing and leak proofing, that bituminous material is used. So that type of bitumen is called industrial grade bitumen. Okay, I think you'll remember this. So another thing, uh, here see one thing I have written that is basically factually correct. That is not totally correct. That is wrong portion. Bituminous materials or asphalt. See these things. Bituminous materials or asphalt are extensively used for roadway construction. Yes, but bitumen and asphalt, both these things are not similar. Asphalt is also a bituminous material, but if you go for the bitumen, that particular term bitumen and asphalt, both these terms are not same. Okay, remember this. Bitumen and asphalt are not similar. So what is bitumen? Bitumen is the byproduct of the crude oil. When you dilute or find different product from the crude oil, in that case bitumen is the byproduct. Now what is asphalt? Asphalt is when you add bitumen with mineral aggregate. In that case, that mix is called asphalt. Generally for the asphalt, bitumen is mixed with the sand, and that is basically asphalt. So basically that is difference between bitumen and asphalt. So bitumen is only the product, sticky material, and asphalt is with that bitumen you mix some mineral aggregate, that is asphalt. So why they are used? Because of their excellent binding characteristics. They bind aggregate particles together, and also they act as a particle waterproofing particle, and for that reason they will uh, force the water which is over the top surface to not to penetrate through the bituminous surface and go into the subgrade. So if that water passes through the subgrade, in that case it will damage the subgrade, and overall the pavement condition will be deteriorate. So bituminous material consists of bitumen which is black or dark colored, solid or viscous, cementous, cementitious substances consist chiefly high molecular weight hydrocarbons derived from distillation of the petroleum or natural asphalt. So basically, if you go for the bitumen particle, this in this line it is written that if you go for the bitumen particle, that bitumen particle both possess viscous property as well as elastic property. Okay, it exhibit the viscosity as well as the elasticity. So for that reason, it is in semi-solid state, and this particular nature of the bitumen is called viscoelastic characteristics. So we'll go for details of these viscoelastic properties in our next unit. Okay, so there we will discuss about different viscoelastic models and how that viscoelastic characteristics of the bitumen can be mathematically formulated. And it is also important, and the bitumen is fully soluble in carbon disulfide. So this line is also important. Bitumen is highly soluble in carbon disulfide. Now in the bitumen, when you go for the bitumen particle, there are other types of things which you want to know. Another term is called tars. So tars and bitumens basically are not same. So tars are residue from the destructive distillation of organic substances such as coal, wood, or petroleum. So basically, tar is a man-made product. So how it is produced? So it is produced by destructive distillation. Destructive distillation means you burn that particle without the presence of any air. So basically, that is the destructive distillation of organic substances such as coal, wood, or petroleum, and are temperatures, and they are temperature sensitive than the bitumen. Temperature sensitive means they are volumetric properties or other properties changes more rapidly than bitumen with the changes in the temperature. So bitumen oil dissolve in petroleum oils like petrol or kerosene, where tar will not dissolve. Okay, so basically that is the difference. Now this is very important, that bitumen materials is highly soluble or fully soluble in carbon disulfide. This line is very important, carbon disulfide. Now generally, one thing I want to say you, uh, now presently tars are not used anymore because they have adverse environmental impact. So for that reason, tars are generally are not used nowadays. So production of bitumen, that is in the refinery process for the crude oil or petroleum, you will get the bitumen as a byproduct. So another thing is composition. So what are the composition of the bitumen? So basically, bitumen is a hydrocarbon. Okay, hydrocarbon means it has a carbon quantity over here, and maximum portion of the bitumen is generally that carbon particle. So less than 10% by weight is due to atoms of sulfur, nitrogen, and oxygen which are attached to the hydrocarbon. So that is the organic structure. So in the organic structure, less than 10% of that particle, total particle, is of sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, or other particles, and maximum is carbon. So carbon content in bitumen is 80 to 87%. That is the total carbon content in the bitumen. Now, these are the basic component of the bitumen: asphaltene, maltane, and carbene. And the property is, these are the three materials in the bitumen which impart different properties. Okay, so asphaltene is hard, relatively inert, and aromatic. Aromatic means it does have a smell, a good smell, that is aromatic. And for this asphaltene material, you will get some elastic properties in the bitumen as well as some smell in the bitumen. Then maltane is a solvent by nature and imparts viscoelasticity to the bitumen. So for this maltane particle, you will get viscoelastic property. Viscoelastic properties means its elastic properties as well as viscosity properties. So how it is looks, it is resin-like intermediate molecular hydrocarbon. So basically that is a sticky material. Resin type, that would be a sticky material or jelly type material. Then carbon is the fraction which is insoluble in carbon tetrachloride. And carbon is other particle, third particle, which is insoluble in a chemical composition that is called carbon tetrachloride. So how you will deduct carbon from the bitumen? That is, you will solve the bitumen particle total bitumen content into carbon tetrachloride, and whatever portion will be left, that is basically carbon. And another thing is, the chemical bonds in bitumen are weak and break when heat is applied. And for this reason, whenever heat is provided, in that case, that bitumen is found to be in the liquid state. But as soon as it is cooled, in that case, it will again get back to its original structures. So therefore, whenever it is cooled, in that case, then again it will go to hardened state. Now, this phenomenon of changing chemical structure of bitumen with heating has made the understanding of the behavior of bitumen very complicated. So, for this reason, whenever temperature is there, then bitumen exhibits some sort of behavior, and whenever temperature is low, in that case bitumen is exhibiting some other characteristics. Okay, so basically that type of nature is called temperature susceptibility. Okay, and because of that, if you go for the analysis of the characteristic of the bitumen, it would be very much tougher, because a slight change or slight modification of the temperature will change different characteristics of the bitumen. And another thing, for the pavement construction or for any other lab, what we are doing, that we will take that material in the lab and we test this material in the lab. So in the lab there will be some control temperatures and other things, but which would be different from the field. Okay, therefore, in such cases, that testing of the bitumen and uses of that proper bitumen in the proper field would be very difficult because of the temperature susceptibility of the bitumen. Now, there are different forms of bitumen. So, what are the forms? First one is cut-baked bitumen. So, cut-baked bitumen. So as we discussed, cut-baked bitumen is produced by diluting penetration grade bitumen with suitable petroleum distillate. Okay, cut-baked bitumen is produced by diluting penetration grade bitumen with suitable petroleum distillate. Means, suppose you have that bitumen, now that bitumen particle would be sticky in nature. Now you will add some uh, petroleum oil in that bitumen particle. Okay, petroleum oil means, suppose your kerosene, okay, or gasoline, or diesel, or naphtha. Okay, like that, you will mix this with the bitumen content, and after that, when we mix this, then viscosity of the bitumen will be reduced. That bitumen will be thin. So that type of bitumen is called cut-baked bitumen. So for the cut-baked bitumen, the main advantage is, why cut-baked bitumen is used. Main advantage is, for the normal bitumen content, whenever you want to lay down that bitumen content, first you have to heat it, and after heating, then you have to place it, and then you have to provide some time to get it cooled. Okay, and within that time it will get hardened. But for the bitumen, you do not cut bitumen, you do not have to heat that particle. Okay, now that petrol or gasoline or your diesel and kerosene, basically that are called volatile material. So whenever you added some volatile material with the bitumen, in that case, it will get solved in that volatile material, and when you place that cut-baked bitumen over any surface, in that case you do not have to heat that material because it is already in the thinner state. You can already mix that particles with aggregate and other things. So after mixing, after placing, you leave some time, and within that time that volatile material in that bitumen content will get evaporated, and that bitumen will be in the hardened state. So in such type of cases, if you use the cut-baked bitumen, in that case you do not have to heat that bitumen content. Okay, so therefore this type of work, cut-baked with the use of cut-baked bitumen or bitumen emulsion, is generally called cold mix asphalt. Okay, it is called cold mix asphalt. And when you have to heat that bitumen, normal bitumen material is used. In that case, that is called hot mix asphalt, or HMA. Now, this is important. These are the things which I have discussed right now. Now, the distillates used for the preparation of the cut-baked bitumen are naphtha, kerosene, diesel oil, and furnace oil. So, based on the volatile characteristics of the oil you are mixing with it, so basically there are three types of cut-baked bitumen, that is rapid curing, medium curing, and slow curing. Rapid curing, medium curing, and slow curing. For the rapid curing, you mix such type of oil whose volatile characteristic is higher. Volatile characteristic is higher means which oil takes little time to get evaporated in the normal temperature. Okay, so suppose for petrol, diesel, and kerosene, the most volatile material is your petrol. So for the rapid curing, you will add petrol with that bitumen content petrol or such type of material. For the medium curing, that curing period would be lower than the rapid curing. Okay, it will take more time than the rapid curing to get hardened. And slow curing means it will take more time than the medium curing or maximum time to get hardened. So these are the three difference of the Cartwright bitumen: rapid curing, medium curing, and slow curing. So next one is bitumen emulsion. So bitumen emulsion is also a low viscosity bitumen, but there is a difference between convex bitumen and bitumen emulsion. Now, in the bitumen emulsion, what happens? The bitumen is added with the water. Now the question is whether bitumen can be added with the water or whether bitumen will be solved in the water. So the answer is no. Bitumen cannot be solved in the water. It is not soluble to water. So how bitumen is mixed with the water? So basically in emulsion, bitumen is mixed with the water with the help of some emulsifier agent or emulsifier chemicals. There are some chemicals which is called emulsifier. Okay, so with that type of material, bitumen is added in the water. So whenever bitumen is added in the water and with the help of emulsifier, then bitumen will be divided into small particles, very small particles. Okay, like in the atom state, very small particles they will be divided. Now for the emulsifier, that is cationic as well as an anion. So basically they have two charges, one positive and one another one is negative. So they will attract that bitumen particles as well as they will distract different bitumen content to come closer to each other. So in this way, then all these bitumen content will be suspended in that water content. Okay, so that is basically your bitumen emulsion. So let us go for the note because you have to read this thing. So an emulsion is a two-phase system. So as I discussed, cationic and anionic, consisting of two immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids means these two types of liquids cannot be mixed with each other. So for this case, one is bitumen and another one is your water. So that is immiscible liquids. So two types of liquids that cannot be mixed with each other. So one being dispersed as finite globulus in the other. Finite globulus means in the small fraction. So in this form bitumen emulsion, what happens? Your bitumen particles will be dispersed as finite globulus or in a small fraction in the other. In the other means in the water. So in the water with the help of emulsifiers which are used to stabilize the bitumen emulsion. So emulsifiers break into ions and charge the bitumen particles. So basically that will get attached with it each and every bitumen particles. So charged bitumen particles repel each other and the suspension remains stable. So this stability remains so long as water doesn't evaporate, freeze, or emulsifier does not break. So whenever you put that emulsifier in the open road, now if the water get evaporates, in that case, that emulsifier property of the emulsifier will be get diminished and the bitumen particle will get hardened. So most of the bitumen emulsifiers are either of anionic or cationic type in water media. So what are the cationic emulsifiers? So cationic emulsifiers are those which charge the bitumen particles in the positive charge, like ammonium salt. So these are some examples. You will just remember this. For the cationic emulsifier, you can use ammonium salt. And anionic emulsifiers make the bitumen globulus negatively charged, and that is sodium stearate. So these are the examples of anionic and cationic charges. So whenever that all these bitumen particles are charged by anionic or cationic charges, in that case, suppose they are positively charged, in that case, you know the same charge will repels from one other. So in this that way, all these small bitumen friction will be get suspended or get stabilized in that water medium. Now the bitumen content in the emulsion is around 60% and remaining is water. When the emulsion is applied on the road, it breaks down, resulting in release of the water and the mix starts to set. Now, depending on the setting time or setting speed of the bitumen emulsion, they are subdivided into three groups: rapid setting, medium setting, and slow setting. Now, this commercially bitumen emulsion is manufactured by either two methods. One is colloid mill and another high-speed mixer. So basically, this portion is not important for your exam purpose. So, but you should know about all these things, that how that bitumen emulsifier is prepared. So there are basically two methods in preparation of the bitumen emulsion. One is colloid mill method and another one is high-speed mixer. In the colloid mill method, there is a high-speed stator uh, rotor arrangement. That is, there will be some rotor arrangement which will be rotating, through which hot bitumen and water are passed using different pipes. So there are different pipes, two or three pipes. Within through these two pipes, from one is dedicated for the bitumen particles and another one is for the water content. So bitumen and water content, bitumen in a hot condition with lower viscosity will be added up with that water content with the help of high-speed rotor. Now this hydraulic shear force break bitumen into small globules of size of the order of 1 to 2 microns, and later emulsifier are added to stabilize the mix. So for that rotor, what will happen? That bitumen particle will be get into a small fraction of 1 to 2 microns, and later emulsifier are added to stabilize the mix. And in the high speed mixer method, water is kept in the mixer just below the boiling point and hot bitumen is fed into the container slowly. So in that case, in that container where bitumen and water is mixed, to be mixed, here water is already there with the boiling temperature, and hot bitumen is poured over there, and there one high speed stirrer would be there. So this stirrer will break the bitumen particles into small globules. After that, you will add bitumen with some emulsifier agent to stabilize the mix. So another type of bitumen is there that is called bitumen primers. So in the bituminous primer, the distillate is absorbed by the road surface on which it is sprayed. The absorption therefore depends on the porosity of the surface. So basically bitumen primers are basically very low viscosity bitumen content, and that bitumen primers are generally sprayed over a surface so that it can penetrate through the surface. Now, how much that bitumen primers will be penetrating through the surface, that will depend on the porosity of that surface. Now, another important thing is modified bitumen. So, in the modified bitumen, certain additive or blend additives or blend of additives called bitumen modifiers can improve the properties of the bitumen, and they could be added. Now this polymer modified bitumen or PMB, that term is important, modified bitumen. In that case, generally crumb rubber or this type of additive materials are generally added with the bitumen to improve its binding property. Now another thing, you just remember this. This may come in your exam, that there are different tests which would be conducted in the bitumen, like viscosity test and other test. Now, for example, that viscosity test for other type of bitumen content or tar or carbonic bitumen or emulsion, you can test for the indirect testing of that viscosity. But for the modified bitumen, you cannot test the viscosity. Okay, I'm telling this you right now. After that also, after when we start about different tests, discussing about different tests, then I will also discuss in details about these things that modified bitumen. Okay, you can give the meeting.